going from here to here, from we're having a tough conversation that's going to probably hurt you, all the way down to I played a part in this and I'm sorry, versus the fight, the argument. I mean, imagine how different your conversations would be. Hey everybody, this is Randall Cottrell from the Curious Entrepreneur podcast or blog or whatever it is. We're seeking wisdom and taking risks. And today I want to talk about having tough conversations. I filmed this just like 2 minutes ago and there was no audio. So we're going to try again. Tough conversations. We all have to have them. Sometimes it's because we created the tough situation. Sometimes it's because we inherited a tough situation. Sometimes it's because we found ourselves just in it, don't even know why. But either way, you got to have tough conversations with people that are involved in your life, your business, family, church, school, sports. It doesn't matter. You got to have tough conversations. And I want to talk about what I've learned about having those conversations. I'll start with this. Nobody's born or just automatically knows how to have tough conversations. Nobody. If you say you are, you're lying. It's just not in us. We're not capable of doing everything well emotionally, and especially conflict. Most conflict leads to war. People fight. But there's a way to have tough conversations without rolling into our natural instinct, which is to war, to fight with each other. Chris Voss is a guy that teaches negotiation. And Chris Voss talks all about how to present yourself in those situations. What are you aiming for? Your tone of voice, the speed at which you talk, knowing what people want in the conversation, knowing what you want, how to help them want what you want, which is incredible, by the way, because sometimes you are right in these tough situations and you need people you need to help them want what you want. But that's like super deep. You got to go listen to Chris Voss's classes to understand that. But let's talk about two simple things that he talks about. In a tough conversation, one of the best things you can do is change your tone of voice. Now, it's not just the tone and, trying to do what you think sounds good in your mind, because that's kind of selfish because you don't know what you're talking about. Chris Voss has a tried and true method, which is the radio DJ voice, which I love. He has other voices he talks about, but in a really tense situation, I want you to imagine hearing somebody go, I can't believe you do this to me. I can't stand this. And you're going, well, look, I didn't mean to. And I want to do this, this, and this. Instead of doing that, imagine going, this is a tough situation. And I think neither of us really want to be here having this conversation, but we have to. And I want to find the best way to work through this without hurting each other, hurting our relationship, or the business that we're in. Imagine how that would feel versus somebody who tries to ramp up with you. And most of us just amp up. We just go crazy. But just imagine being able to give somebody that tone and that speed and allow them to go, maybe this person doesn't want to hurt me. Another thing that's happened, it's like sirens everywhere. But another thing that Chris Voss talks about is labeling and mirroring. And labeling is pretty straightforward, but it shows people that you're listening. When you're in a tough conversation and somebody's getting amped up and they're getting angry and they're this and they're that, you can label them in a way that helps them have space to continue talking. If they're amped up and they're angry, wow, you seem really angry. You seem upset. Yeah, I am upset. You seem like you're disappointed in me. I am disappointed in you. You seem like you regret being involved with me. Well, no, I mean, I don't regret being involved with you, but I'm just mad this happened like this. It seems like you have remorse about maybe how this all played out and what we could have all done differently in this situation. Yeah, but it's still on you. Now this goes to something completely different, which I love talking about, is like personal accountability and tough conversations. Yeah, I have a huge part to play in this. And I apologize. I just like going from here to here, from we're having a tough conversation that's going to probably hurt you, all the way down to I played a part in this and I'm sorry, versus the fight, the argument. I mean, imagine how different your conversations would be. Another thing to look at is in tough conversations is, do you know what they really want? And do you know what you want in that conversation? If you're fighting with your spouse, I challenge you to like be honest. What do you really want in that conversation? Do you want your spouse to divorce you? Do you want them to walk out? Do you want them to hate you? Do you want them to give you an excuse to walk out? So that you can leverage that and go, oh, you don't want me here anyways? What do you really want in a conversation? Honestly, a lot of people are highly, highly selfish in these tough conversations. Most people are. 99.9% are trying to get what they want, or trying to get you to give them what they want. And that's just selfish and wrong. Like you're just, you're a manipulator if you're doing that. But we've all done that. I'm guilty. But I'm challenging you to think about what you really want and what they really want. And you'll never know what other people want in the conversation if you don't give them the space to ask or to say whatever needs to be said so that you understand what they want. If you have to fire somebody, I understand. You don't have the money. The project's dead or whatever it is, you got to fire them. But it's giving them the space to say, if you got to tell them, hey, we don't have what we need to continue with you. Now I want you here. And I enjoy you being here. Can I ask you, what would help you through this situation? Now, it's tough, and I'm not going to be able to keep going. But what can I do? Nobody gets that type of response. Like, that makes people feel incredible. In tough conversations, I'm telling you, make space. Like, trust me on this. Make space for people to feel like they have a say in this conversation. Because most tough conversations are like me with the gun shooting you in the head and having to walk away. I feel bad about it. I feel bad, but I got to go on. That's not how it's supposed to go. In hostage situations, like Chris Voss was a hostage negotiator. In a hostage situation, he wants the hostage to live. Because you want that life, that just is what it is. They're a victim. You want the criminal to serve justice, or justice to be served to the criminal. You don't want them to die. There's no chance at rehab. We're not SWAT team members. We're going to just every conversation we bust in, pow, 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 knock it out and walk away. That's not our job. That's not how humans interact. And in a situation of negotiating with somebody trying to take their life, take somebody else's life, Chris Voss talks about making sure that people get what they want out of the situation, making sure that you get what you want out of the situation, but keeping reality on the forefront. You can't do this. Okay, great. I understand. I cannot hold this person hostage. I want the hostage to be able to walk away alive. Okay. I want you to walk away alive. Okay. I want to go home to my family. I want to be happy too. Okay. Well, how do we do that? That's way different than saying, I got to have what I want and it has to be my way, or there's nothing else. Now, the reality is somebody is right. Some part of this is logical and fair. And it just is what it is. However, analyze that situation. Most times you're not in a hostage situation. You're not fighting for somebody's life. You're fighting for pride. You're fighting for money. You're fighting for, feelings. So look at it and say, hey, how do we win together? How do we work together? What do we have to do to get out of here and everybody get what they need? Which means you got to listen. And I'm going to close it on that right there. Hostage negotiations is about listening. Having tough conversations is about listening. It's not about you getting what you think you want. Nobody's watching this probably as a hostage negotiator. So don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, you need to start thinking about what you are in these situations, what these other people are, what they want, what they need, and what you got to have. And build your message, build that moment the right way. Don't build it with malice. Don't build it with anger. Build it with a solution in mind. Think like a hostage negotiator. But just understand, there are no hostages. But think like that. Don't be the SWAT team. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Understand exactly what you're walking into. Put on the DJ voice. Do the labeling. Do the mirroring. Do the listening. Create the space for them to feel safe and heard. Now, if you're listening to this and you have somebody with a gun in your workplace, that's not a cool situation. I understand that. These tactics still work. They still work. I'm not telling you to go run out and be a hero. What I'm telling you is, in your normal life, having tough conversations requires knowledge and education that you probably don't have. And we all got to have them. I'm having one now. Solution is in mind, though. How I approach it will be the way I'm telling you to approach it now. I'm telling you, tough conversations will never go away, but figure out why you got there in the first place. Figure out what you need, what they need. Figure out how to approach the situation. Think about the solution. Randall Cottrell, curious entrepreneur, seeking wisdom, taking risk. See you next time.